First step, take the wheel off. It's not been a very good start to the process. As you can probably see, that's got to be the biggest nail I've ever removed from a tyre. And you can still hear the air coming out of it. So new tyre required there. Alright, looking at this inner wheel arch, it's really survived pretty well over the winter. That rust it's there, but it's really not bad. I'm thinking a little Dremel, scrape that off, get back to some bare metal, and just a little bit there as well. We just tidy that up, get it back to metal. That's the first step. Okay, we've Dremeled most of the rust off, and then flappy disked it down just to smooth it out, and it's as expected. We can get down to some fairly reasonable metal, and that can be put some rust preventative on there, bit of undercoat, and that should be good to go. What we have found, which is a bit of a nuisance, right at the bottom of the back end of the sill is a bit of a hole that's going to need welding up. There has been a plate put in underneath there before today, so hopefully a bit of expert welding we can get that filled. The metal around it is pretty solid, it's just right there. So I don't do any welding, so I'll have to give that out to a man who can. Kerr rusted up, ready for masking up and some primer. While we're under here, it's the time to have a look around, see what we can see. Shock absorber looks dry, that's good. Check the brake disc, worn but not bad. Pads, yeah, there's still some there, that's good. I need to clean up the handbrake and check that bar, looks okay. Drive shaft rubber is good, and the drop link looks okay. So apart from being mucky, looks pretty good. While we're here, just checking out the back subframe and the exhaust. Subframe, as usual, has held up pretty well. I've had my wire brush on it, and again you've got surface rust where the powder coatings flaked off years ago. I just keep Kerr rusting it and covering it with some under seal, not bad. The exhaust looks like it's on its way out. A couple of spots there that look, if I push them, I bet they go right the way through, so could be replacement back box required. And again, surface rust on the subframe, but nothing to worry about so far. Right, half an hour spent masking up, and we're ready for some undercoat. While the primer's drying, that's going to be a good few hours, I'm going to remove the hardtop as spring is here, and we're going to enjoy some open top motoring. Just a few little points that any MGTF owner will have realised by now, but if you've never had one and you're considering buying one, this will be a consideration. The hardtop is really quite a nice design, very stylish. You can see the angle there where the driver's side glass would be. Hardtop's very narrow at the top. It's a good 3 inches from here to actually here. If you put a straight line up, it slopes in quite nicely. That's what makes it very stylish. Trouble is, in the winter when it's full of snow and icy cold water, when you open the window, it drops that water and snow right down your arm and thigh. It's an interesting quirk, but just something to be aware of. It will happen. To remove the hardtop, you have to undo both clips at the front. Just press that button in and pull it back, and also this little clamp here just releases, unhooks itself from the bottom there. And don't forget to undo the electrical connector for your heated rear window, which is right at the back there. Just unclip that and it's ready to be lifted off. Now normally this would be a two-person job, but unfortunately my able assistant is away this weekend, so I'm going to have to attempt it on my own. For those people who have, shall we say, bought a hardtop for the first time and go to fit it, quite often they struggle to find the electrical connector for the heated rear window. That's because if the hardtop hasn't been fitted before, it will be hidden underneath here. But I'm going to lift the hood forward because I'm going to get into the engine bay, top of the engine bay there, and I'll show you where it actually comes through the bodywork and what it's hidden underneath. So the first thing to remove is the sort of, what can we call it, inner liner that just sits behind the passenger and driver's seats. It's just made out of probably some sort of recycled material. It's just, you just pull it out, unclip it all the way around. It's not held in by anything really, it's just pressure, and just wiggle it about and pull it out. I've pulled it out through the back window in this case, and what I'm trying to get to is these clips which run all the way round the edge. There's 5 or 6 of them, and once you've unclipped them you can pull the soft top forward. Once you've undone the spring clips underneath here all the way around, you can just give the back of the soft top a whittle and it will pop up, and this is starting to look a lot better. I just usually put a little bit of bungee on there, hold it in place, and then you can see this sort of fairly heavy, it's plastic and some sort of fabric, it's fairly stiff sort of insulation material. It's a big heavy awkward thing to get out of the way, but it will just whittle itself out the way. We'll lift it out and that will give us better access to the engine bay. So this is an ideal opportunity to show you where the electrical cable is for the heated rear window in the hardtop. Pokes up here, and as you can see it's located underneath this heavy insulation material that you basically have to lift out the way, and it comes through here, and that's where it's attached to the loom. So the reason why people find it hard to find in the first place is this will be tucked away probably down in the corner here. This heavy insulation material goes over the top of it and hides it, and trying to find it from the inside of the vehicle with that little cardboard cover on and then this underneath that, it's very difficult to lift up, whittle around and try and locate this. Far easier if you just take that all out and then suddenly there it is, tucked away in the corner down there. Hope that helps. So here we are with the engine cover removed. It's just about 10 little bolts all the way around. Get that out of the way, and we've got plenty of access to the engine there. And the reason why I'm going slightly off track from my sort of winter maintenance schedule, last time I checked, the alternator belt, which you can just see down there, had a split in it, not across its width, it was sort of down its length, which is unusual, but I've bought a replacement one. And while we've got the wheel off and we're taking the roof off, I thought, you know, might as well just change that to be on the safe side. Good time to check around the engine bay as well, since it's the first time it's really had a look at it since the end of last year when the head gasket was replaced. Everything's looking pretty good there. We just have a look around the other side. Yeah, it's all looking nice and dry, no leaks. Looks good down there. And I'm sure the NG aficionados amongst you will have noticed a couple of non-standard wire ties on what is effectively the main water hose out the back of the engine there. That little sensor there, I noticed, was just starting to rub on that pipe. Maybe another 10 years it would have worn itself through, but I thought a couple of strategically placed heavy duty wire ties would just prevent that from rubbing through the pipe there. Just a little tip for you. Okay, got a couple of coats of colour on and let that dry nicely, and now we've just put the lacquer on and job done. Okay, here we are under the passenger side rear. Again, the frame has held up pretty well all round, nothing really to do there. Drop link just looks to be touching that trailing arm. Interesting. Everything else is good. I've just done a little bit of cur rust just at the top there, but really overall the frame has held up well. What I have discovered is this brake doesn't look particularly shiny, and ultimately the conclusion is this caliper has finally given up the ghost. The one on the driver's side was replaced a couple of years ago, and effectively trying to move this lever, it's as stiff as anything, so basically not really working correctly. That disc should be bright shiny. So conclusion is replace the caliper, put new pads on at the same time. The rear back box of the exhaust is clearly not going to last very long, so we'll work on getting a new one of those. There also looks to be like a rubber hanger that's stretched, and that's past its best, so that will be replaced at the same time. But overall, that looks like it. I think we've got away with it for another winter. Well, it's been a good couple of days here at Steve's Amateur Garage. I've not broken anything, I've not injured myself, so that's good. We've discovered that the rear brake needs replacing, the back box needs replacing, so we need to order up some parts in the next few days. Hopefully get them on in the next couple of weeks. You may see a video on that. Overall, the car's looking better than it was when we started, so that makes you feel good. Fingers crossed, the little bit of preventative maintenance that we've done will help it survive for another year. You all take care, please like and subscribe, and look out for more exciting videos coming soon. Bye for now.